Good evening, everyone. So this is another very exciting Live 45 that we have planned for you. Today is December 2nd, and this is going to go right on Facebook as usual. You do not need to have Facebook in order to view this. You can click through the prompts and view this without a Facebook account. And you can also post comments or questions for us that we will be answering as soon as we see them. You want to say hi and let us know that you're watching. We like that as well. You can also leave comments or questions in the chat box of Zoom. You know me, I am your fellow ambassador of social media. I practice in New York, and my name is Amrita Patel. On with me this evening as my co-host is our ICD USA section president, Dr. James Setterberg, live with us from Colorado. Welcome, Dr. Setterberg.
Oh, it's so wonderful to co-host with you again, Dr. Patel, and I'm excited for this evening. I've got a wonderful program, and I hope all is well in New York.
It is, thank you, and hopefully the next time we see each other is either in sunny Scottsdale or in at another Mission of Mercy in Colorado, which is so great to do.
Skiing in the mountains.
Dr. Setterberg is currently our president, of course, and was the Colorado Deputy Regent from 2006 to 2013, Regent from 2014 to 2017, and Vice President in 2018, and was also a past president of the Colorado Dental Association, along with various other local dental associations. He's very involved with the University of Colorado School of Dental Medicine, and was a past member of the ADA Council on Dental Benefits, which is where I serve now as their new dentist member. So that's very exciting. Dr. Setterberg has been an avid skier for nearly 50 years, is a past National Ski Patrol member of 18 years, and was the director for 4 years teaching avalanche and mountaineering. Dr. Setterberg, I should really ask you for some ski lessons because I don't know how to ski.
My wife might be better at that than I am, but
I love Sharon. So wonderful. He has been actively involved with the community of Glenwood Springs, where the last mom was that I was so fortunate to be able to attend for 38 years, and has been voted Locals' Choice in Glenwood Springs since its inception in 1999, and Colorado's Best Dentist by 5280 magazine from 2009 to 2013. Dr. Setterberg and his amazing wife, Sherry, are co-site chairs for the 13th Colorado Mission of Mercy. Sherry's a hygienist, rock star triathlete coach, and cancer survivor. They have 3 adult children and 1 grand dog. Welcome. So today with us is a very exciting program featuring Everyone for Veterans. And on with me live are Dr. Teresa Chang, Dr. Richard Williamson, and Miss Jennifer Shelton. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, and then we're going to get started. Welcome, all of you. So Dr. Teresa Chang is the founder of Everyone for Veterans. She was born in Taiwan and grew up in Malaysia. She went to the University of Washington and did her perio residency there and finished in 1985. She was in private practice for periodontics from 1990 to 2013 and retired in 2013. Belated congratulations. She's a part-time clinical assistant professor of periodontics at UW from 2015 to present, and provides free dental care to veterans and families in her private practice from 2008 to 2013. She transitioned to the grassroots efforts of connecting dentists to veterans around the country in 2014, and Everyone for Veterans was established as a 501c3 nonprofit in 2017. Welcome, Dr. Chang.
Thank you, Dr. Patel. Yeah, thank you for having me. And, that list you read does seem like I'm, getting up there in age, and that's what that's what it reflects. So happy to be here, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course. Next up, Ms. Jennifer Shelton is the dental program manager for Everyone for Veterans. She grew up over here on the East Coast in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, but was born in Tucson, Arizona, and is the daughter of an Air Force veteran and was actually a dental assistant for a long time, longer than I've been in dentistry, Jennifer.
Yeah.
She was actually Dr. Chang's dental assistant from 2005 to 2013 and has been an active part of Everyone for Veterans since 2008, where she is, of course, now the dental program manager. Thank you for being on with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
course. And last but not least, I didn't forget you, Dr. Williamson.
No.
Dr. Richard Williamson is a clinical associate professor at the University of Iowa College of Dentistry and Dental Clinics, and was a private practice general dentist in College Station, Texas for 17 years. So you know some of our friends that were on with us from Great Expressions then, Doctors Ganaway, Harrison, and Lemke. He left private practice to pursue a 3-year prosthodontic residency in Nebraska and has been a prosthodontist at the University of Iowa for the past 20 years and is the past regent for District 10 of the ICD. Welcome, Dr. Williamson.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
So like I said earlier, this will be posted on Facebook. It will also be archived on the ICD USA section Facebook page. There is an events tab at the top. If you click it, you'll see everything kind of archived there. So you can view this after the fact. You can also view this without a Facebook account. It's totally not a problem. And as always, if you have any more questions or if you have any comments and you just want to say hi, feel free to post those. And we will also share some contact information for all of our panelists, so you can contact them after if you have any questions and want to get more involved. So let's get right into it. Dr. Sederberg, take it away.
Great. Well, thank you for letting me start this interview. And Dr. Cheng, this is a question for you. Dr. Cheng, tell us what inspired you to start Everyone for Veterans, and when and what did it really take to start this program?
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, Dr. Satterberg and Dr. Patel, and also the ICD for this opportunity to share information about Everyone for Veterans. And thank you for the audience for your interest. And so this is really a huge motivating factor for me as far as, the interest from the community. So as to what inspires me, oftentimes we think about, looking for and planning what and how we want to contribute to society. But I must say, sometimes those opportunity catches you, because, I have no military or veteran background, and working with veterans was not anywhere near in my radar. I volunteered a lot, but with like women issues, mentoring, food banks. So it was really a surprise to me when I felt so connected with the mom of an injured veteran that was profiled in the Seattle Times article in 2008. So my sons were around that age, and I felt, that I had to do something to help these families who are going through so much to take care of the veterans who returned from combat. And so I got this idea that we would start providing free dental care to the families who are taking care of the injured veterans, or whether it's spouses or moms. And so, it goes to show how much I didn't know about veterans, because I didn't realize that the veterans themselves, most of them don't get dental benefits until, unless they're designated 100% service-connected disability. So, I closed the office for a day. We provided free care. But once I met the veterans and learned of their stories, I felt so indebted to them for doing this huge task for the country. I feel this responsibility, to help them, or at least I should, at least try. So I wanted to do something more to complement the urgent care that we were providing on those free dental day, and thought that I will try to coordinate comprehensive care with, other dentists. And being a periodontist, I'm used to collaborating with restorative dentists. So I would call up my buddy in town, and Dr. Feeder, who is actually an ICD fellow, and who did not hesitate to take the veteran and take care of their needs. And he collaborated with other specialists and get all the care taken care of. And I also realized that many of the veterans come from distant areas to come to my office, and so then I called dentists in their area to continue the restorative care. And first I would call the dentists that I know, and then I start I got a little brave, and then I called this dentist I didn't know, and so most of them are happy to help out a veteran, and so that really, you know, boosts my confidence that, you know, this, you know, system works for veterans. And so pretty soon we were getting, you know, people who are veterans contacting us from Muskegon, Michigan. I have to look up the map and see where it was. And lo and behold, I was able to find, you know, Dr. Betsy Bakeman, who did a beautiful reconstruction job. And so these gracious efforts of the dentists who collaborate with us, thanking me for this opportunity to give back to these veterans, you know, it really encourages me and inspires me to do more. So when I sold my practice in 2013, and having some examples of, you know, where we can assign these veterans without actually straight to their community, without me actually having to do an oral exam. So after I retired, I decided to try and go virtual, which is, you know, just, you know, qualifying the veterans and then assigning them to a dentist in their area. And we ended up serving more veterans than when we had the free dental care in the office, because, you know, there's not the limitations of getting to the office. And so the feedback from dentists was also like that they also like this option where they don't have to take time off, and they can be in the comfort of their office, and they just you know, absorb one veteran a year in their office. So this was all a grassroots effort. So in 2017, feeling confident that this model works, and that there are still a lot of veterans and spouses, you know, in all corners of the country, and knowing that there are dentists, you know, around the country who wants to give back, you know, I felt that we can expand this and establish the 501c nonprofit to help out veterans who return from combat and who have, you know, financial challenges. And of course, knowing that I have Jennifer on my side, who was all in, and who was volunteering all her time, you know, was really a big boost to get this, you know, off the ground, because we had no funding then. So thank you, Jennifer. And so that's kind of the inspiration and the energy to, you know, get this off the ground.
Well, thank you. That was a wonderful synopsis, and hopefully that will give some inspiration to those that might be watching this webcast. As my message, and as I've spoken at White Coat ceremonies over the years, is that there's a price of having initials after a name, and veterans are certainly those entities that I mentioned, that we have the ability to provide care for those in need, and that is certainly a deserving population. So, Dr. Patel.
Thanks for that, Dr. Chang. It was really informative. Jennifer, Dr. Chang mentioned that you have been the boots on the ground. Can you tell us more about the startup as the dental program manager for Everyone for Veterans?
Yeah, well, first of all, Dr. Chang is very inspiring already, so it's not hard to be enthusiastic about doing something like this. You know, when we started, Dr. Chang had already had a great group of colleagues in Washington who had signed up for the opportunity to take care of combat vets and their spouses, even before she made E4V a nonprofit organization. So between the cold calls that I make to dental offices and, you know, the E4V crew kind of putting word out there and spreading awareness by educating, you know, communities through social media and events that we do hold, it's helped to recruit more dentists. However, it is a slow process. Cold calling is not typically, you know, it's kind of tough. You can imagine calling all those dentists to find care for veterans. But you know, even if we have just one veteran in our program who would reach out to their colleagues, and then even if they're general dentists or specialists, even if they're in different states, it would be so impactful for the program. And then in turn impactful for the veterans and spouses, because they'll be seen right away. You know, because right now there is kind of a little bit of a wait to see a dentist because of how long our wait list is of veterans. There's just so many that have reached out to us. And, you know, so far we've helped connect over 500 veterans to dentists in 32 states. And so we want to keep going. And we always, there's always veterans, and there's always spouses who need the help. And really, it's not just about the veterans. We are finding that so many dentists, as Dr. Chang mentioned, are out there, they're wanting to assist a veteran, but they don't know how to get access to them, you know, to be able to help them and kind of pay it forward for what they've done for us, you know. So we just want to kind of educate them and let them know that we're here and we can connect them. And so even during these COVID challenges, dentists are still trying to see the veterans and the spouses whenever they can. So, you know, it's just more about awareness, and we're trying to put the word out there. So this whole night is hopefully very helpful for us.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Williamson, you and I served on the Board of Regents for 4 years. I know you shared a number of stories with me, but how did you have to become involved with Everyone for Veterans?
Well, I had been looking for a way that I could help veterans on a larger, broader scale with more outreach. I first heard of Everyone for Veterans, or we refer to it as E4V, through one of my former students here at the University of Iowa College of Dentistry, who was a former member of the E4V Board of Directors, and then also one of her classmates who was treating a veteran in her private practice. Well, actually, I can better answer how I became involved by telling you why I became involved. But I mean, for those viewers that have never really had a close relationship with a combat veteran, let me share with you what I learned the hard way, so that people can understand why I partnered with E4V. My son's a Marine combat veteran, and he served in the 2004 battle for Fallujah in Iraq. And when he returned home from war, I was just happy that he was home, he was alive, and he had no physical injuries. I was so ignorant and uninformed of the invisible injuries that are common to combat veterans of all wars. The common one that people hear about is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injury. What people don't hear about is moral injury and survivor's guilt. I certainly had never heard of them. Additionally, I did not understand the challenges that veterans face when they return to civilian society. All combat veterans live by very clear objectives when they serve, so that they can accomplish their mission. And then when they return home, many of them feel lost because they do not have that structure. And more importantly, they no longer have their support system, their unit, and they do not have a sense of belonging. So these invisible injuries that I mentioned earlier can very subtly, but dangerously make it very difficult to reintegrate back into civilian society. I mean, every individual person is going to develop their own coping strategies to function, but until these injuries are addressed and the problems are going to get buried deeper and deeper, and they can negatively affect one's self-esteem, their social interactions, their personal relationships, which, I mean, eventually, I mean, they can affect the children and their families, and that's our next generation. So E4V gave me the opportunity to help veterans in my community. And I know, as we've mentioned about, you know, Mission of Mercy, and most communities do have these free dental programs to address emergent dental care needs. But what makes Everyone for Veterans valuable to veterans is that the dentist and their entire staff are returning veterans and their spouses to good oral health. And oftentimes veterans do choose to have their spouse's dental needs treated first. And it can give veterans back their self-esteem and self-confidence, and this can help them get a job. It can help improve their personal relationships, their home life. It can help them be a better parent. But the number one reason that I partnered with Everyone for Veterans is that I believe that by providing this level of care, that the veterans come away from that care and they feel that people really truly care about them, and they begin to feel a sense of belonging in their community, and perhaps they feel that they have a support system there. So really, their healing can begin by restoring their dental health and helping to remove some of the barriers that is making it difficult for them to reintegrate back into a civilian society. And this is going to help reduce their feeling of isolation, their feeling of hopelessness, and giving them the strength to keep moving forward, to have a feeling of renewed hope for a better future. And I remember that my son told me and this is, more than 15 years ago, when he was in the process of trying to find his way back, into society after he came back from Iraq. And he just, in the course of a conversation, he said, maybe it's my turn to live the American dream. And that really struck a note with me. It brought tears to my eyes. And so to really summarize, how I became involved in Everyone for Veterans, I partnered with them because I believe in the positive impact that comprehensive dental care can make on the life of a veteran and their family and society as a whole. And that doesn't just, limit it to veteran. I mean, I tell my students, this is what we do for people. This is what we can give people, but especially veterans, this is what we can do for them.
Thank you, Dr. Williamson, for sharing those personal insights. And I'm sure that touched many who are watching this program this evening. So, Dr. Patel.
Thank you for that, Dr. Williamson.
Welcome.
Dr. Chang, tell us more about the Wingman program.
Yeah, so that's very exciting. From what we've learned from working with the dental program, even starting from to qualify the veteran for our program, we're looking at them being low income and they've deployed to combat area. So besides getting the paperwork from them, we have a pretty in-depth conversation about their life. And so we learned so much, just all the things that Dr. Williamson described, that is so true for so many veterans. And so the challenge is, definitely not just physical, but there's, many layers of challenges that our veterans who return from combat deal with. So, but I used to think, these are all really complex issues. I don't have any qualification. I can't do anything, and just have the VA take care of that. And I should just stick with dental care. And every time I start thinking maybe that's something I could do, I say, no, Teresa, stop there. Just deal with the dental care, and that should be enough. So, but again, these opportunities keep trying to catch me, right? And so, like a young Iraq war veteran that I remember, Ramon. Was his name. He was going to school, and his marriage broke up. His kid lives with his mom. And so in chatting with him about what would make his life better, he said he would really like a gym membership so that then he can go work out regularly. That didn't seem too hard, right? And so, we're trying to figure this out. And then it turned out we have a gym membership that's donated in our town, which is about 20 minutes away from where he lives. And so that's not gonna work. So you really need your local community. Another veteran talked about himself raising 2 children who are entering teenage years. And he would love to get some parenting classes. So, you see these real life needs that they have. It's not just food and clothing, so these are just a couple of examples that have always stuck with me. I always kind of feel bad that I never accomplished those for them, but they are definitely it stayed in my mind that those are things that I or the community could easily do to improve their lives. So, so at the same time, when I was battling with this thoughts about what else to help out with veterans, I heard Sebastian Junger. So he is a journalist embedded in Afghanistan with a troop in Kandahar. And in this book called Tribe, he talks a bit about PTSD. And his conclusion is that one of the factors our veterans have such high incidences of PTSD is not just from the trauma from war, but more so from the disconnect with the community that they return to. And our numbers are like less than 1% of the population in the US went to war. So they definitely, feel kind of out of waters with, everybody else. And also my conversations with veterans and their stories certainly brings me to the same conclusion that I read from Sebastian Junger, and about how healing it would be if there is care and connection from the community. So, and so hearing, and also at the same time, I'm hearing from dentists, their feedback, about, hey, it's great to be able to help out a veteran. And I started to think, well, it couldn't be just dentists who wanted to do something for veterans and, couldn't reach them. And so others would want to help too. So, some people in the community can certainly provide that free gym membership, or, arrange to have, the free parenting class that veteran needed. So that gave me, there's some justification and rationale for starting this wingman program, where basically people sign up and they take on a mission. So the mission is a need from a veteran, and they accomplish it however they want. So besides, the call for basic food and clothing, we've had many really heartwarming examples that have materialized since 2017. For example, a veteran, couldn't afford care for his service dog, and he's very worried, of course. So the wingman assigned has no connections with veterinarians, have no resources to pay for veterinarian care. But she decided to call all the veterinarians around where this veteran lives and told them about helping out a veteran. So lo and behold, a veterinarian stepped up and took care of the service dog Rocky with $750 of in-kind care. So another example is like a wingman volunteer in California helped out a veteran in Arizona with getting free music lessons, because the veteran, she finds it very uplifting. And also she was hoping that the music lessons will help her improve in her love of songwriting. So those are real live examples of what the veterans need. It's not, just food and clothing. And so that is what, I'm so excited about the Wingman program being, to really address the need that is needed. So, and pretty much all our missions can be accomplished remotely. And this is even before COVID days. So even the food can be shipped to their door. And that's a great boost for the veterans, because, they tell us that they feel so honored because they don't have to stand in line to, these are their own words, to beg, So when that connection with the community, that extra effort really help them, feel very connected and, heals them. So our emphasis with the Wingman program is that the Wingman volunteer talks to the veteran, because I think that is kind of builds up a great connection with the veteran. And so we initially have the veterans and the Wingman volunteer meet. And actually that is actually more of a barrier, because it is not so easy to ask for help face to face. And so this being able to connect over the phone, You can help, a veteran even in another state if you want to. Certainly you can help your local veterans. And we also encourage the wingman volunteer to reach out to friends, family, whatever circles, their book club and so forth, because it makes it more fun to accomplish the mission. And also, amazing things, can come together for the veterans when, they work with their circle. So I won't bore you with all the examples. We do have some of those examples in the blogs, the ones that we can get photos and release from the veterans. And so this is a new concept. And I know it makes it a little hard to explain, because a lot of times people say, what do I sign up for when I'm signing up for a wingman? It's not a specific task, but I think it makes it more fun and more meaningful. But I feel like, we just need to stick with it for a little bit and you will catch on. And so, and it is so exciting to hear the veteran feedback from these, because, they would say phrases like, this saved me. I know that they have tough things and it made it worth going through what I did, that I'm not forgotten. So a lot of times when they say like strangers reached out to help me, really, makes them feel, warm and fuzzy on the inside. So the Wingman program is actually very easy. It basically everyone can sign up to be a Wingman volunteer. And when there's a mission, we will connect you and you can decide whether you want to take the mission or not, and then you can accomplish the mission, whichever way you can do it. So that's, what I feel is a really exciting way to be able to really help veterans more specifically. So that's what our Wingman program is.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I know that Dr. Williamson has shared with me previously that, perhaps someone suffering from PTSD might need blackout curtains in order to sleep. And so he had contacted a drapery company that were able to provide that for their veterans. So again, for all those that are following this program tonight, and if you choose to become involved, which I so hope you will, that there's other entities, we all have them in our communities. So if we can help these people that have helped preserve our safety and our independence in our country, I couldn't encourage you more strongly. But Rick, Dr. Williamson, I know that you were inspired initially, or were introduced to E4V program from a student in your program at the dental school. Has it been implemented at the University of Iowa? And if so, has the program been successful? And is there any special story that you want to share with us along those lines?
Yes, we started back in the fall of 2017, and I was really excited when I presented it to the administration, because here I was not in private practice, so I just couldn't, go do dentistry to a veteran. I was restricted here in the school. I was really excited when the administration was happy to do that. So we started out slow, but it grew rapidly, and it's been very successful. And I would say it's been successful in several ways. First, because we're helping a veteran in need in our community. And second, is providing a student with needed clinical experience. So they do a variety of direct restorations, composite amalgams. They're doing crowns and scaling and root planing, extractions, dentures, cast, partial dentures. And here's the other thing that's really pretty cool is that the entire school has an opportunity to interact with the veteran. Maybe when they take that initial phone call, the check-in process, and it really has united the school around helping build up funds for veteran care. I would say that special stories, I would start with the class of 2022 adopted as their class project that they would each of them would write a letter to their hometown dentist, introducing them to the Everyone for Veterans program and encouraging them to join as a provider in their local community. And I understand from Jennifer and Teresa that they got a number of dentists to join. So that was pretty interesting. But that had a spillover effect in getting more students interested in it, that asked questions about it. And then we started, having more students receive veterans as patients. And I remember a particular story about a veteran that I'll share. But before I forget, just this past Veterans Day, there's a student military organization here within the school, and they had a goal, I think, of raising $4,000 for better dental care for veterans that have a financial need, but they don't qualify for the E4V program. And they raised $4,500. And that's money that's for veterans. And when I say that the entire college has an opportunity to interact with veterans and they're excited about it, that's the result of it. We raised $4,500. But as far as a special story, I think that the one that I remember most, there was a homeless veteran, and I remember that he would have to get up. He would have to walk like 4 miles to get to the bus station to take a bus here, and he would get here in the middle of the night. He'd have to. He would go to the VA hospital across the street, and they would allow him to spend the night in the waiting room until his appointment the next day. He never missed an appointment. After his dental care, because of how it affected him emotionally, his self-esteem, he went back and he got his counseling certification. He got a job. He got a place to live. And the bond that was developed between him and his student provider was an amazing thing to watch. And it inspired the student to give the gift of her talent and her education after she graduated. And the thing that's remarkable is that in teaching, in 20 years of teaching, I've never seen that kind of inspiration develop, in a student from, working with a patient. And, I think that's what we need to bring to the classroom. That's what we need to give our students, so we can teach them dentistry, and we can set good examples and be good role models. But I think that we need to make a conscious effort of just what we're talking about tonight. We need to make a conscious effort of being passionate about serving other people however we can, whatever it is, but we need to give of ourselves selflessly. And I think we all have our own ways of doing that. So that's what I see E4V doing in our school here in Iowa.
Great.
That's so great. Thank you. And, one of our previous Live 45s was actually the founder kind of all of the Mission of Mercy programs. And I think I had Dr. Carr on with me, or was it you, Dr. Soderberg? One of you was on with me, and we spoke about just how great this profession has been for all of us and how wonderful it is to be able to pivot and turn around and then pay our blessings forward and give back. So it's really nice.
Absolutely.
Jennifer, what has been the most positive experience that you've had while being a part of this program? What keeps you involved?
Unmute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Dr. Williamson has pretty much encapsulated everything that keeps a person doing what they're doing. Really, in a nutshell, we get to see the transformation. The transformation of the veteran once the treatment's completed, and the transformation of the dental office that's treating them, or the wingman. Because, you know, some dentists go in at first not knowing much about combat vets and what they go through. But once they've established care with that veteran, they get to know them. They're realizing, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And the whole staff is just, you know, so touched by it. They have such great things to say about what they're doing for a person that has done so much and sacrificed so much. You know, we, like Dr. Williamson said, it's like, you know, when we first get the veterans, they are hopeless, they're jobless, they're homeless. Many of them are, and they're just so down, you know, and once they've been established in a dental office, being treated, getting their smile back, it gives them, it's like they just light up, and the transformation is there, and it gives them that motivation, that push to want to try and find a job, you know. And when they get that job, they're like, they call us and they call the dental office like, oh my God, I got a job. And it just changes their whole life. It gives them that stepping stone towards moving in the more positive direction. Knowing that the community has pulled forward and just kind of pushed him in that direction, helped him out, you know what I mean? So he's feeling a part of the community. He's, you know, no longer this recluse, he or she. And, you know, it's a great thing for the whole family. So the fact that you can see lives change being in this program and help connect people, it's definitely something that keeps us going. It keeps me going, that's for sure. So super important.
Wow, that's wonderful. If dentists would want to become involved with the program, and hopefully this has touched many hearts, but what's your continued vision, and certainly what are your biggest needs for the program?
Yeah. So okay, the number one thing you probably guessed is, please, dentists can sign up to help out a veteran. Just take one veteran a year. The number two thing is, you know, consider taking a wingman project for the office. It's a great office team building project. So, you know, if you're not ready to take on a patient, you can also take on a wingman project. That would be really helpful for your whole team. And we can really benefit from, you know, any dentist who want to be like a dentist ambassador for your state, you know, so that then we can contact you to, you know, since you know the lay of the land in your state, that would be a great help for us. We are looking for board members in, you know, in other areas of the country. So that would be awesome too. And also recommend us to, you know, your banker, your accountant, you know, people that could be good board members, you know, because that would be something that would be very helpful for us. And we nowadays with virtual, we can certainly be happy to speak at your Rotary meeting. So feel free to recommend us. And, you know, like I said, the veteran issues are complicated and complex, but there is more of us than them, so we should be able to help them. And so our vision is that our veterans can, you know, feel comfortable in the community that I return to. So I know it's a tall order, but we have to start somewhere. But at this point, even we've had a lot of traction. We've had collaboration with a group of optometrists, Bosch, and they are around the country, and they're doing the same thing. We're just duplicating our dental program with them, and so they will help out a veteran who don't have vision care with the VA. We have like a yoga instructor who is giving virtual yoga classes to veterans. And, you know, one of our, immediate plans is to get more dental schools involved. So, you know, dental students are aware of veteran issues. So we've got a lot of things going on to get to our mission with having our veterans, you know, feel comfortable in the community. Our biggest need now is, of course, due to COVID and, you know, limiting the veterans that would have been seeing a dentist, you know, in all those months. So our wait list is really long. It's more than 100 veterans. And I know that dental office have you know, significant challenges nowadays. But it's interesting that some dentists have called us now requesting to see veterans because their schedule is slow. So they thought, hey, you know, I might as well be doing some good and take on additional veterans. So just to share this perspective that you could create, you know, good feelings when, you know, there is this, you know, kind of slow time in your office. So that would be great if you could take on veterans and your spouse. That would be super.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've had some auxiliary members express that they would like to become involved. If their doctors, for some reason, are not involved with that, is there a way that they could become involved with the program?
Well, they can certainly take on a wingman project, so that then, you know, they, maybe their office would be interested in doing something like that, or the assistant can work with, you know, friends and family. So, and that is also a very fulfilling experience to work with wingman in the wingman program.
Wonderful. Thank you.
That's great. So if you want to contact Doctors Cheng, Williamson, or Ms. Shelton, we are going to add the Everyone for Veterans website in the chat section of our Facebook page, and of course also in that Zoom chat box. And we will also be adding email addresses and anything else that you might need in order to get in contact with them and find out more information. I want to thank everyone for being on with us. I know we had a couple little Zoom glitches, but I see that we've got a pretty sizable audience, and this will be posted on Facebook. And of course, we do monitor that. So if you have any further questions, or again, if you kind of want to comment or want to get in touch with anyone that was on tonight, you can do so that way. And we do read those even after the fact, and we love seeing what everyone has to say. So please do that. I also want to thank Dr. Sederberg for being my co-host. And if I'm right, I think this is the last one for the year that I get to co-host with you. So thank you so much.
Well, yeah, for the year, who knows what will happen next year. I go into that past president position, much coveted. I will miss many, but I'm still around. So thank you, and it's been a wonderful year with you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for jumping right on board, both feet in for this program that we came up with. And I'm really hoping that we can transition to in-person as soon as we are allowed to do that. So thank you again. I want to let everyone know about our upcoming programming. On December 16th, we have our next and our last Take 10 interview, and I will be checking in with Dr. Maxine Feinberg, who is a friend, mentor, colleague, and an amazing human in dentistry. She is from New Jersey and is a past president of our American Dental Association. And very exciting, we are going to start off 2021 with a real bang. January 13th, 2021 is our live 45, and my guest that evening is Dr. Daniel Clemenson, president of the ADA, and we're very excited to have him on with us, which is going to be really great. Look out for 2021 dates and guests and upcoming key mails and posted on our events list again on the ICD USA section website on the events tab at the top, of course on Facebook. And thank you everyone so much for joining us this evening. Have a great evening and a safe rest of 2020.